Nate here with Snowbike World. We're up here on the mountain with Alan and Brett from Timbersled. We're riding the 2020 RIOT, which is, I'm not going to say riot, but it's pretty freaking sweet. All right, Brett, talk to us about this thing. What is the latest and greatest on this piece of machinery that we can look forward to?
Well, honestly, this is dirt bike DNA. So you really have to forget everything you know about a snowmobile rear suspension. We've moved the balance point forward under the rider, and that's the whole key here, is the way this suspension works. It might look familiar like something else. It is not. As you felt it when you rode it, this is dirt bike. You move back, ski comes up, but the track stays flat on the snow. So this is transfer without trenching. A lot of really cool stuff happening here.
Alan, show us some of the, show us what's going on down here on the track itself.
Yeah, so as you can tell, the suspension looks quite a bit different than a normal snowmobile or snowbike suspension. The main focus with it was to make the front half of the suspension carry the weight of the bike and the rider, and for the back half of the suspension to be softer but with a true rising rate that a dirt bike would have. The action that we get out of the suspension, the reason it can wheelie is because it has a single pivot point on the rail. It doesn't have two suspension arms like the Aero does. So we get this pivot point that's further back. We get this front track shock that carries the load. We get this rear track shock that's really soft and compliant, but with a rising rate. And so when you gun it, it cams back onto that pivot point, allowing the skid to lay down flat, but without having a bottoming issue because it's too soft.
Now I've noticed it's pretty dang playful down in the flatter areas when we're messing around at lower elevations and on some of the terrain, but up here in this deep snow, the thing's just digging and climbing like a mountain sled, or like a mountain timber sled, I should say. Better than a sled, in my opinion. Can I say that?
Yeah. We still like sleds, man. We got to sell a lot of those.
All right, so tell me about the adjustability that's taken place here. You guys have been switching things up on these shocks, and tell me what you're doing there and why that makes a difference.
Yeah, so because we designed a skid or a kit that more resembles a motorcycle, but it has to be able to ride in the mountains too. It has to be able to go ride with the Aeros. And so what we did on the LE version is we put an adjustable shock in it. So it's got a Fox QS3 shock that has a clicker, a 3-point clicker, and you can adjust the shocks from very soft to extremely firm. And if you want that top climbing ability that you get out of an Aero, you would click that back shock to fully stiff, and that puts the pressure to the back of the track so it won't wheelie, and it gives it the traction in the back of the track. But also there's a science to the layout of the thing. If you lean back, it pulls up. If you just sit on the bike in normal riding position, it stays down. And you can kind of feel that as you come up the hill. It doesn't really want to just wheelie up on you even if it's in soft mode, but it will when you pull back on it. And that's really just the thing that makes it feel real lightweight in the handlebars and maneuverable.
So you're lightening up the ski pressure quite a bit too. Anytime you want, you just pull back and lift that ski. What about weight savings? Do we have any weight savings on the RIOT versus the Aero?
Yes, there are a lot of improvements and a lot of differences here, but some of the similarities between RIOT and Aero, as far as weight savings and whatnot, we were focused on increasing track speed, quicker spool up, just more dirt bike-like feel. When you whack the throttle, it just revs out. And so we've got lighter weight, optimized sprockets. So all 3 sprockets are drilled and lightened. The jack shaft and the jack shaft assembly has been compacted, so the jack shaft is lighter. It spools up quicker. We've removed components from that drivetrain assembly, so less components. Almost a pound of rotating mass, maybe just a little bit more, has been taken out of the drivetrain. New brake cover, and that's really cool because the cover is molded, so you can pop it off and flip it over, and there's a spot for speed sensor. You just run your drill bit right through, it's already marked, and you can put the magnet in the disc. It's a one-piece disc this year, which is awesome. There's no hub and all the bolts and all that rotating mass, and the disc is speed sensor ready, so you can run your Trailtech Voyager Pro. You can see track speed, add a pipe, see the difference, re-gear, see the difference. So it's been optimized for Again, quicker spool up, higher track speed, and so we did take a lot of weight out there. We also compacted the chassis. Alan was talking about moving that balance point forward. Well, the chassis on Riot is 10 inches shorter, more compact, more mass centralized than Arrow, which is really cool because any of the cargo, and we all carry a full can of gas, we carry bags and all that stuff, that's also 10 inches farther forward. So that makes it more playful, again, like a dirt bike, just really chasing that dirt bike feel.
So you lean this thing over and you're on top of that track, and the thing just kind of reacts under you like a bike, more like a bike than behind you.
Exactly.
That's cool. Alan, what else? What are we missing here?
So some other cool features on it that are different than Arrow is we'll point out this rear tunnel assembly. So, and this is one of the areas that we lightened it up too, is we shortened the tunnel about the length of that snow flap that's on there. That's a molded plastic part. And it just doesn't get stuck in the snow. It doesn't really attract or hold snow. The bumper's cool. It's comfortable to hang on to. The whole thing's a little bit shorter. So more refinements there. Plus it gives it the new cool Riot, new fresh look for the new model. What else? The track on the thing, it's the same as the last year's 120 Arrow. So it's a 2.5 inch track that's got a contoured design.
The beveled corners, the rounded corners on the track, so you can lean this thing over.
Tapered paddle. The outside edge paddle is tapered, and that helps it ride, better on the trail, more like a rolling tire, I guess. Another thing on the Riot that's cool is we shortened up the frame. So this is another area where it was lightened up. You can see that the frame is
it's 10 inches
shorter.
Yep.
Yeah, Red already said that. And so we also did a double mount system back here. So there's 2 bolts going through the tunnel in that spot versus 1. That added rigidity to the drive system. And because we added rigidity to the drive system or the side panel, we were able to put 1 bearing in the drive system. So it's another area that it was lightened up. We got rid of a bearing, and there's a little less rolling resistance too.
I noticed you got some new goodies on this thing too. This is the first Timbersled gas can I've seen come on one of these bikes, and this mounting system's pretty cool too.
Yeah, this is a phenomenal product. We're really excited. It's been a long time coming. We know everybody's excited about it as well. Really, the neat thing here is a couple of things. Number one, it's heat shielded. The gas can is sold as a complete system, so it comes with the mounting. My favorite part about it is how easy it is to use. We've lightened up the pressure that it takes to get that off, so super easy to get off.
Even under ice, that just pops out.
Even under ice,
right?
Yep. It keeps most of the snow off your can, so you're not going to fill with snow. You're going to fill with fuel. The spout is really awesome. Once you put it on, it's spring-loaded, so you can tip it over, no fuel comes out until you actually set it on, the fuel tank. You don't spill any gas. So really easy to use and super easy to locate, right? It comes with the mat, it comes with the bases, straps. It's just an awesome, super quick, super easy system to use.